As we grow older, the choices we make at mealtime carry even greater weight. For older adults across America, selecting the right foods is no longer just a matter of taste or ease. It becomes a crucial part of protecting the heart, sustaining energy, reducing inflammation, and fortifying the immune system. And yet, there's one food group that continues to cause confusion: vegetables. Indeed, vegetables are widely celebrated for their health benefits. But here's a surprising truth for many older individuals: not every vegetable supports senior wellness equally. In fact, certain vegetables can quietly intensify inflammation, elevate blood sugar, disrupt medications, or irritate the digestive tract. On the flip side, there are also vegetables that older adults should prioritize regularly because of their powerful mix of fiber, antioxidants, and age-defying nutrients. This video from Holistic Health Compass offers a deeper look into both categories: the 4 vegetables seniors should avoid, and the 4 best options that promote longevity and vitality. If you're over 60, or know someone who is, this information is not just helpful, it's essential. We're not promoting radical diet overhauls or eliminating entire food groups. Just smarter, more strategic vegetable choices that protect your brain, joints, blood pressure, and overall well-being. So whether you're managing chronic conditions like diabetes, arthritis, or high cholesterol, or simply seeking better mobility and energy, stay with us. Throughout this video, we'll not only identify each vegetable, but explain how it can help or harm you, specifically if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. Most importantly, we'll back every recommendation with real science, not fads, but nutrition advice tailored to older adults. Let's take the first step toward better eating in our later years. Because with vegetables, it's not just about quantity, it's about choosing wisely. The worst vegetable number 1, canned corn. A sweet deception that spikes blood sugar and disrupts digestion. It may surprise you, but one of the least suitable vegetables for seniors is commonly found in casseroles, barbecues, and even nursing home meals: canned corn. Although fresh corn offers some fiber and antioxidants, the canned variety is a different story, especially when considering senior nutrition. Yet many older adults consume it regularly, unaware of how it may quietly undermine their health. Here's why. Canned corn isn't just a starchy vegetable, it's a heavily processed product, often packed with added sugars and sodium, 2 dietary dangers for aging individuals. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at managing blood glucose, and many seniors are already dealing with diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance. Canned corn has a high glycemic index, meaning it causes blood sugar to rise rapidly, particularly when paired with other carbohydrates or consumed in large portions. These spikes don't just cause energy crashes, they promote belly fat, worsen inflammation, and raise the risk of long-term heart issues. There's also digestion to consider. Seniors often face slower digestive function and heightened sensitivity to certain fibers. Canned corn contains insoluble fiber that ferments in the gut, frequently leading to bloating, gas, or constipation, issues already common in later life. On top of that, many canned vegetables, including corn, are preserved in BPA-lined containers and include additives that can disrupt hormone balance and strain kidney function over time. Then there's the sodium. Just half a cup of canned corn can have more than 300 mg of salt. Seemingly modest until you realize many older adults are on medications for high blood pressure, heart issues, or kidney conditions. Excess sodium causes fluid retention, raises blood pressure, and places additional pressure on an already sensitive circulatory system. For older adults, every heartbeat matters. This is one vegetable best left off the plate, or at the very least, consumed sparingly. Take the example of Clementine Nash, a 72-year-old retired art teacher from Flagstaff, Arizona. For years, she thought she was making a healthier choice by swapping fast food for canned vegetables, especially corn, which she added to everything from soups to salads. But she couldn't explain her persistently high blood pressure, swollen ankles, and post-lunch fatigue. During a checkup, Her dietitian examined her food journal and flagged the regular intake of canned corn. Clementine was stunned. It was just a vegetable after all. But after replacing canned corn with fresh steamed green beans and roasted zucchini, two senior-friendly alternatives, she noticed a real shift. Her blood pressure dropped, her bloating eased, and she even shed 4 pounds without trying. Most importantly, she felt less tired and more in control of her health. The worst vegetable number 2, raw cruciferous vegetables, a hidden danger to thyroid health and nutrient absorption. Though it may be hard to believe, especially given their superfood status, some cruciferous vegetables, when eaten raw, should be approached with caution by older adults. These include raw kale, raw cauliflower, raw broccoli, and raw Brussels sprouts. While rich in nutrients and fiber, they can negatively impact thyroid function, digestive comfort, and mineral absorption, concerns that grow more relevant with age. Let's look at the science. Cruciferous vegetables contain compounds known as goitrogens. When consumed raw and in excess, these substances can suppress thyroid activity. For younger individuals with healthy endocrine systems, this might not be problematic. But for seniors, many of whom already experience slower thyroid function or take thyroid medication, this can interfere with hormone production. Goitrogens block the body's ability to absorb iodine, a key nutrient needed to make thyroid hormones. Without sufficient thyroid function, older adults may feel fatigued, gain weight more easily, or develop depression and cold intolerance. Digestive issues are another concern. Raw cruciferous vegetables contain tough fibers and complex sugars like raffinose, which can be difficult for aging digestive systems to process. This can lead to bloating, gas, and discomfort, symptoms that many seniors already contend with due to slower digestion or gastrointestinal conditions. Cooking these vegetables breaks down their fibers and reduces the effects of these sugars, making them much easier to digest. But eaten raw, they present a real challenge. There's more. Studies also show that raw goitrogens may impair the absorption of calcium and iron, two minerals that are essential for older adults. Bone density decreases with age, and iron absorption becomes less efficient, especially for women over 60. So, while raw kale salads or green smoothies may seem like a smart choice, they can actually work against older adults if consumed regularly and without the right preparation. To bring this to life, meet Wallace Trentham, a 75-year-old jazz pianist from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Inspired by health blogs, Wallace swapped his morning eggs for kale and broccoli smoothies. Within 2 months, he began experiencing freezing hands, mental fog, and chronic fatigue, symptoms he initially chalked up to aging. But blood tests revealed low thyroid hormone levels and the early stages of iron deficiency. When his doctor reviewed his new dietary habits, the issue became clear: a high daily intake of raw goitrogenic vegetables, unbalanced and uncooked. Once Wallace began lightly steaming his greens and adding iodine-rich foods like seaweed and eggs, his symptoms gradually faded. His energy returned. Warmth flowed back into his hands and his lab work normalized in just a few weeks. These days, he still enjoys cruciferous vegetables, but only when they're cooked, consumed in moderation, and never used as raw meal replacements. The worst vegetable number 3, eggplant, a nightshade that may worsen joint inflammation in seniors. When people think of eggplant, they often imagine its deep purple skin, featured in dishes like ratatouille or eggplant parmesan. But many seniors don't realize that eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, a group of vegetables that can subtly increase inflammation and intensify joint pain, making it a poor choice for those dealing with arthritis, gout, or chronic discomfort. Nightshades, such as eggplant, tomatoes, peppers, and white potatoes, contain a natural chemical called solanine. While harmless to most in small doses, solanine may heighten inflammatory responses in sensitive individuals. For seniors already coping with osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, or general stiffness, this can lead to more pain, increased swelling, and reduced flexibility, often without any obvious dietary cause. Surprisingly, eggplant tends to be a frequent culprit because it's usually eaten with its skin intact, where solanine levels are most concentrated. For some older adults, even modest amounts can trigger joint soreness, especially in the hands, knees, or lower back. Take the story of Ramona Delaney, a 70-year-old retired librarian from Providence, Rhode Island. Ramona took great pride in her healthy habits. She cooked at home, took daily walks, and followed a largely plant-based diet. But entering her 70s, she noticed her arthritis worsening, particularly after certain meals. Her fingers became more swollen in the mornings, and her knees ached after dinner, even when her routine was unchanged. After keeping a detailed food journal, Ramona and her rheumatologist uncovered a surprising pattern. Her symptoms consistently worsened after meals containing eggplant, her beloved grilled eggplant, panini, and vegetable lasagna being the main culprits. She decided to cut out eggplant for 1 month. The difference was dramatic. Her stiffness diminished, her mobility improved, and she found it easier to sleep without discomfort. While eggplant isn't inherently harmful, it's one vegetable seniors with joint concerns should monitor closely. Why? Because older adults often have more delicate inflammatory responses and lower tolerance for compounds like solanine, effects that may go unnoticed in younger individuals. The worst vegetable number 4, raw spinach, a nutrient paradox that may interfere with medications and mineral uptake. It may feel counterintuitive, even controversial, to list spinach among the worst vegetables for seniors. For decades, it has symbolized health and vitality. However, when eaten raw, spinach can pose challenges for older adults, particularly those on medication or experiencing calcium or iron deficiencies. It's a perfect example of how even a superfood can become problematic under certain conditions. The issue with raw spinach lies in 2 key compounds, oxalates and vitamin K. Let's begin with oxalates. Spinach contains high levels of these natural substances, which bind to minerals like calcium and iron in the gut, limiting their absorption. For seniors already prone to low bone density and anemia, this can lead to worsened fatigue, fragile nails, and thinning hair over time. It's a frustrating paradox. You think you're doing something good by eating large salads or green smoothies, but the nutrients may not even be making it into your bloodstream. Even more concerning is spinach's high concentration of vitamin K, a nutrient that plays a central role in blood clotting. While moderate amounts of vitamin K are necessary, they become problematic for seniors on blood thinners such as warfarin or Coumadin. These medications reduce clotting ability, and a sudden increase in vitamin K can counteract their effects, raising the risk of blood clots, strokes, or unstable NR readings. This isn't a blanket warning for all older adults, but for those managing cardiovascular disease or atrial fibrillation with anticoagulants, raw spinach should be limited or eaten in small controlled servings. Even a simple spinach salad can throw off weeks of carefully balanced medication dosing. For an example, consider Neville R. Byrne, a 79-year-old retired aircraft mechanic from Bakersfield, California. Neville had been taking blood thinners for nearly 10 years after suffering a minor stroke, and his condition had remained stable until recently. His NR levels used to track blood clotting became unpredictable. His doctor suspected a new drug interaction, but Neville hadn't altered his prescriptions. Only one thing had changed. He'd started attending a local smoothie club with his granddaughter, drinking green blends loaded with raw spinach every morning. Once the raw spinach was removed from his diet, his NR readings normalized, much to his doctor's relief. Though disappointed, Neville found comfort in sautéed spinach, which significantly reduces oxalates and vitamin K. Cooking not only enhances mineral availability, but also ensures safer consumption for those on medication. The takeaway: raw spinach is certainly rich in nutrients, but for seniors, it's a complex food that demands careful handling. It may appear wholesome on the surface, yet quietly interfere with the medications that protect your heart and brain. The best vegetable number 1, beets, a natural remedy for circulation, blood pressure, and brain function in aging adults. Of all the vegetables seniors should include in their diets, one humble root vegetable rises to the top: the beet. Whether roasted, steamed, or blended into a smoothie, beets are a nutritional powerhouse that addresses many common concerns in aging, such as impaired blood flow, hypertension, cognitive decline, and inflammation. What makes beets such a standout for older adults? First, they're rich in dietary nitrates. Once ingested, these nitrates are converted into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps relax and widen blood vessels, improving circulation and easing blood pressure. For seniors whose arteries often become more rigid with age, this effect is invaluable. A daily dose of beets or beet juice has been shown to enhance vascular flexibility, ease the workload on the heart, and support cognitive clarity by boosting oxygen-rich blood to the brain. Multiple studies have demonstrated that seniors who regularly include beets in their diet experience notable reductions in systolic blood pressure, a change that may significantly reduce the likelihood of strokes and heart attacks. Beets also possess strong anti-inflammatory effects due to compounds such as betalains and phytonutrients that help counteract oxidative stress. Low-grade chronic inflammation is one of the most insidious contributors to nearly all age-related conditions, from arthritis and diabetes to cardiovascular disease and memory decline. Integrating inflammation-fighting vegetables like beets into your daily meals can help minimize this internal wear and tear and bolster your long-term vitality. But the benefits of beets go well beyond heart health. Beets are also incredibly beneficial for cognitive function, a top priority for many older adults. Enhanced circulation, particularly to the brain's frontal lobe, which governs memory, focus, and decision-making, has been observed in seniors who eat beets consistently. One study from Wake Forest University even found that drinking beet juice before exercise improved brain connectivity in older participants, making beets an excellent choice for anyone striving to stay mentally agile. Take the case of Everett Bix Callahan, an 82-year-old retired jazz record producer from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. After struggling with episodes of dizziness and forgetfulness, Bix saw his doctor and was diagnosed with stage 1 hypertension and early signs of cognitive decline. Determined to remain sharp and self-reliant, he began daily walks and swapped his usual morning toast for a beet smoothie made with ginger, lemon, and a drizzle of honey. Initially skeptical, he had never enjoyed beets. Bix soon noticed a change. Within a month, his energy levels improved, the dizziness subsided, and he found it easier to concentrate while reading or sorting through his music archives. After 3 months, his blood pressure had fallen by 12 points, and his cognitive assessments had leveled out. His doctor encouraged him to continue, and Bix now refers to his smoothie as his morning concert. Another often overlooked benefit of beets is their high fiber content, which plays a key role in digestive health, an area that often becomes sluggish with age. Beets help encourage regularity, relieve mild constipation, and nourish beneficial gut bacteria, which in turn strengthen immunity and improve nutrient absorption. The best vegetable number 2, bok choy, a bone-fortifying, immunity-enhancing leafy green ideal for older adults. Among the many leafy greens available to seniors, bok choy is frequently underrated. But for those seeking a vegetable rich in calcium, magnesium, potassium, vitamin C, and vitamin K, without the drawbacks of high oxalates or gas-forming compounds, bok choy is one of the best options to add to your diet. A member of the cruciferous family, bok choy, also known as Chinese cabbage, offers a mild flavor, tender crisp texture, and adaptability in everything from stir-fries and soups to steamed dishes. What truly sets bok choy apart is its nutrient synergy, which directly supports bone health, immune defense, and cardiovascular function. Let's begin with bones. As people age, their bone density naturally decreases. For postmenopausal women and men over 70, the risk of osteoporosis becomes even more significant. Bok choy provides a bioavailable form of calcium essential for building and maintaining bone structure. Unlike spinach, which contains oxalates that hinder calcium absorption, bok choy is low in oxalates, making the calcium it offers far more accessible to the body. That alone makes it a stellar vegetable for preventing fractures and preserving bone mass. But calcium doesn't operate alone. Bok choy also contains magnesium and vitamin K, both of which play vital roles in regulating how calcium is deposited in bones and preventing it from accumulating in arteries. This dual benefit supports both skeletal integrity and cardiovascular safety, an uncommon combination in a single food. Then there's the immune system. Bok choy delivers a healthy dose of vitamin C, which aids in the production and function of white blood cells. For seniors whose immune response often weakens over time, this can offer much-needed protection against seasonal illnesses and lingering infections. Consider the story of Lena Totawa, a 76-year-old former music teacher from Spokane, Washington. After suffering a wrist fracture from a minor fall, her physician informed her that her bone density was below average and suggested she increase her calcium intake. Lena had long disliked milk and struggled with the bloating it caused. With guidance from a registered dietitian, she was introduced to bok choy. She began adding it to chicken soup, sautéing it with garlic, and steaming it as a side dish with grilled fish. Not only did it agree with her digestion, but over time she also felt more stable on her feet. A follow-up bone scan showed her density had held steady, and she noticed she made it through flu season without a single cold, something that hadn't happened in years. The best vegetable number 3, green peas, a naturally sweet, fiber-dense ally for digestive balance and blood sugar control. When we think of sweet vegetables, carrots or corn usually come to mind. Yet one small green legume delivers both a touch of sweetness and impressive nutrition, especially for aging bodies. The green pea. And it's one vegetable seniors should absolutely include in their regular meal rotation. Green peas earn their place thanks to a powerful blend of soluble and insoluble fiber, plant-based protein, and their remarkable benefits for blood sugar balance, digestion, and cardiovascular health. Let's start with fiber, one of the most underconsumed nutrients among older adults. A single cooked cup of green peas delivers between 7 and 9 grams of fiber, far exceeding most vegetables. But this fiber does more than ease digestion. It also helps maintain healthy blood sugar. Soluble fiber, in particular, slows the breakdown of food in the digestive system, which means the carbohydrates in peas are absorbed more gradually. This helps prevent blood sugar spikes and crashes, offering sustained energy. For older adults managing type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, or metabolic conditions, green peas are a steadying, blood sugar-friendly option. Meanwhile, the insoluble fiber in peas provides bulk, aiding regular bowel movements and relieving constipation, an issue that affects nearly 50% of seniors. Improved digestion also leads to better absorption of nutrients, reduced bloating, and greater comfort throughout the day. Peas also pack a surprising punch when it comes to protein, about 8 grams per cup. For older adults trying to preserve muscle mass and prevent sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle, high-protein vegetables like peas can help maintain strength and prevent falls or fatigue. Let's take a look at Fern Broderick, an 80-year-old retired park ranger from Helena, Montana. Fern had always been an outdoorsman, but following a string of minor digestive troubles and a recent prediabetes diagnosis, he found himself sluggish, irregular, and increasingly disheartened. Wanting to improve his health without embracing restrictive diets or cutting out favorite foods, he sought advice. A nutritionist at his community clinic recommended a few simple dietary adjustments, starting with green peas added to his meals 3 times a week. Fern began folding peas into omelets, stirring them into soups, and even blending them into purees for an afternoon pick-me-up. Within weeks, he noticed renewed energy and no longer experienced the mid-afternoon crashes that had become routine. His digestion also stabilized, allowing him to stop relying on laxatives. At his next AO neck check, he saw a modest but meaningful reduction in blood sugar levels. Fern now affectionately refers to peas as his tiny green protectors. Green peas are also abundant in antioxidants like flavonoids and polyphenols that counteract inflammation, one of the core drivers of chronic illness among older adults. In addition, they're a good source of vitamin K, folate, manganese, and vitamin bone, all nutrients that contribute to heart strength, bone health, and cognitive performance. The best vegetable number 4, Swiss chard, a detoxifying, immunity-enhancing leafy green that supports vision and organ health. When it comes to choosing vegetables that offer wide-ranging protection for older adults, few deliver as much as Swiss chard. Often overshadowed by spinach or kale, this vibrant leafy green is a nutritional heavyweight and deserves regular inclusion on every senior's plate. Swiss chard is loaded with vitamins A, C, and K, and also provides ample magnesium, potassium, iron, and a diverse range of phytonutrients that support nearly every vital system in the aging body, from immunity and liver detoxification to eye health and vascular function. It's one of the few vegetables that appears tailor-made for seniors, especially those looking to strengthen immunity, protect vision, and promote healthy detoxification. Let's begin with its detoxifying properties. Swiss chard contains betalains, natural pigments with powerful anti-inflammatory and cleansing effects. These compounds support the liver in efficiently processing and eliminating toxins. As organs naturally slow with age, bolstering liver function through diet becomes essential. Swiss chard also acts as a gentle diuretic, helping reduce water retention and supporting kidney health without adding stress to the system. Now, consider its impact on the immune system. A single cup of cooked Swiss chard delivers over 40% of the daily recommended intake of vitamin C, an essential nutrient for white blood cell function and immune response. For seniors whose immune defenses often weaken with age, this can make a noticeable difference in fighting off respiratory infections, colds, and slow-healing wounds. Swiss chard also includes flavonoids and zinc, which further reinforce cellular immunity. But perhaps Swiss chard's most exceptional benefit lies in its protection of eyesight. With age, conditions like cataracts and macular degeneration become increasingly common. Swiss chard is rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, two carotenoids proven to defend the retina against oxidative stress and filter harmful blue light. Including it regularly in your diet may help preserve visual sharpness and slow age-related vision decline well into your 70s and 80s. Take Loretta Mayfield, an 84-year-old retired postal worker from Savannah, Georgia. Loretta had noticed that reading was becoming more difficult, and her vision was frequently blurred. She also experienced irregular digestion and frequent colds. During a wellness session at her community center, she discovered the benefits of Swiss chard for detoxification and eye function. Though unsure at first, she added it to meals twice weekly, once sautéed with garlic and lemon, and again in lentil soup. Within 2 months, Loretta reported smoother digestion, fewer colds, and said, "My vision feels brighter and less strained when I read." Her eye doctor confirmed her eye pressure had stabilized, and her primary care physician was pleased with her improved immune blood markers at her next visit. As we age, every meal becomes more than just routine. It becomes an opportunity to protect our vitality, maintain strength, and elevate quality of life. And no food group plays a more impactful role in senior wellness than vegetables. But as highlighted in this video, not all vegetables are equally beneficial, especially for older adults. Some, such as canned corn, raw cruciferous vegetables, eggplant, and raw spinach, may appear harmless or even healthy, but can quietly compromise well-being by promoting inflammation, elevating blood sugar, interfering with medications, or aggravating chronic conditions. These are vegetables seniors should approach with awareness, if not avoidance. On the other hand, we've explored 4 standout vegetables that belong in every older adult's weekly routine: beets, bok choy, green peas, and Swiss chard. These vegetables support better blood flow, stronger bones, improved digestion, and a more resilient immune system. They're easy to cook, incredibly versatile, and backed by strong scientific evidence showing clear benefits for heart function, cognitive health, blood pressure, and more. But the most important lesson: healthy eating in your 60s and beyond doesn't require radical rules or complicated changes. It's about wiser choices, made one vegetable at a time. You don't have to become a nutritionist, just become more mindful. Pay attention to how different meals affect your energy, mobility, and well-being. Small changes, like replacing canned corn with peas or adding bok choy to soup, can lead to meaningful improvements in how you feel each day. At Holistic Health Compass, our mission is to help you age not just longer, but better, with clarity, confidence, and strength. If today's video offered you insight or inspiration, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which vegetables surprised you the most? Which ones will you add or remove from your meals? And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to Holistic Health Compass, and share it with someone on their journey toward healthier aging. We're here with you, offering reliable guidance, practical solutions, and motivation to help you live fully at any age.